The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah, why
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Allen going to give this one to Singletary. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down. That's complete to the running back, Nyheim Hines.
And he is going to have a Bills first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
They run with Hines. They find some open field here. Pushes past him. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Nyheim Hines with his 9th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bills will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
Bottom line, when you play a runner with these talents, you've got to be able to wrap up and get him on the ground. Or the first person who gets there, hold him up long enough for the next wave to get there and get him down. Otherwise, he will continue downfield and find pay dirt.
Here's Bass now for the extra point. And he atones for his miss the first time around as this one is up and good to extend their lead. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Peoples-Jones going to elect not to run this out, and they'll begin at the 25. The Browns drive about to get started. Well, not much time remains here in this first half. We'll see if they can get something out of this drive, at least a field goal. They could certainly use it down by 2 scores. He's got a man complete. And he steps out of bounds, but not before he gets inside the 35. A big play there just before halftime. 44 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. He's got his receiver, Cooper. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Amari Cooper, 31 yards. And the Browns get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point by York is up and good. And the lead down to 3 at 13-10. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And they may just be content to take this 3-point lead and head into the locker room. Here's Allen on 1st and 10. Open man downfield is Davis. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, these are going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Following the fumble recovery, Watson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
These are the situations that really test the defense, those sudden changes. They're already inside field goal range to start the possession. Their goal now, keep it to a long kick, if indeed they end up trying one.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. And that is taken in by Njoku. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. Watson on 1st down. And it's intercepted at the goal line. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one where you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon. Bills with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Here's Allen. This to Hines on the drop-off. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards that time, and a Bills first down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
It was Isaac Rochelle there to make the play defensively. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's Hines. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
From midfield, here's Allen. He'll check this down to Hines. And some room to run now. Touchdown, Bills.
Well, this is where quarterbacks' passing numbers sometimes get a little bit more inflated than they should, because this is a short little pass, but it goes for big yardage.
Yeah, and this just looked like a simple, ordinary play to start, but boy, did things change. Once he got free, it was off to the races, and once he hit high gear, there's absolutely no one who was going to stop him.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the catch on the next-gen stats. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Peoples-Jones going to elect not to run this out, and they'll begin at the 25. The Browns drive about to get started. Well, the opposition laid down the challenge and opening drive touchdown here to start the second half. And, Charles, now you feel like this group needs to get an answer because this all of a sudden is a 2-score game.
Yeah, you're right about that. What was a small, manageable spread to overcome, a little bit more daunting now. I think you're exactly right. Pressure is on because you don't want them getting the ball back with a chance to really extend this lead out.
They go up the middle with Chubb. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. The Browns send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows their punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down into those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Allen, he's got the hook up with Diggs. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. Now, that's a catch of some significance. It's number 631 of his career, and why that's significant, it ties him with Hall of Famer Raymond Berry,
who was one of the most precise route runners at any position during his time in his career. So I think that we're seeing something very similar here. He may not have known Raymond Berry, but he goes about his business the same way. Understands how defenses are going to play, understands where the leverage is, and goes away from it to the tune of 631 catches.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. picks up 3 on that carry.
So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. They'll roll him out right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Allen going to throw. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Stephon Diggs, 73 yards. And the Bills will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. Bass on for the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Peoples-Jones going to elect not to run this out, and they'll begin at the 25. The Browns drive about to get started. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
We're in the 3rd quarter in upstate New York with a 2nd and 10.
Now a throw here going to be taken in by the tight end Njoku. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man and try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing.
And he fires one that's intercepted.
Jair Elam makes a pick.
And he is going to score. It's a pick 6 and a Bills touchdown.
And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick 6.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. As confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
Back now in Buffalo, where the 4th quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the 3rd quarter.
Here's Bass now to send it away.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Browns drive about to get started.
This one certainly has not gone according to script. You would have thought on paper that this offense would have its way here, but they certainly have not, and they trail big. After this, it figures to be a quiet trip home.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, A loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. And here he's got Grant. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Give him 30 yards there. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. They'll run with Chubb. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. 2nd and goal from the 1. Here's Watson. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb, a 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Browns get a bit closer. So 2nd and goal there from the 1. They go to the air.
And the perfect down to throw the football in this sequence. 2nd down is always kind of the, do they throw it, do they run it? They worked it out to perfection on that one by throwing it into the end zone.
And he's got it for the 2-point conversion. So they tack on a pair more here to narrow that deficit a bit further. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball. Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the 4th quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, 4th quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for really hunkered down and establish themselves.
Now this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it. And let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Partner, when you see a screen pass and the defensive tackle ends up making the play, you know that one wasn't sold well at all, because he should be upfield by the time you throw the pass. If not, you end up with big trouble, as we just saw right there.
And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. Here's Sam Martin now, standing just outside his own goal line. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. The Browns drive about to get started. Well, still a long way to go, but trending upward. They scored the last time out, you remember. Then their defense forced the punt. Now they try to inch closer, but still ultimately down 2 scores in the final quarter. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 39-yard line. Now it's Watson. Looking deep in the direction of Cooper. And this one almost intercepted. Had a chance to come down with it in the end zone, but could not hang on.
Partner, they've been aggressive, airing it out all game long, and no better evidence than those last 2 snaps. They weren't going to beat this coverage, though, 2 plays in a row, and that one falls incomplete.
And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss.
Remember, throughout my career here in defensive coach, I always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. And they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Down under 2 minutes to go. in this football game.
Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Desperation time. Watson on fourth down. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Tre'Davious White with a pick.
And the Bills are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line.
That is now seven interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
106 yards now for Hines on the ground, and that's a first down.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And a stiff arm made it a pretty little run. Not a huge gain, but a nice chunk of yardage. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. So Allen's going to look to throw. And that is caught. It's Davis. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 19. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
This is Hines. Bulldozes past him.
And he was able to shed 1 tackle but could not get away from there. Safety Grant Delpit up to make the play.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
Ball at the 14 for 2nd and 5.
Now Allen. The hitter here, it's complete. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because
and he takes it in across the chalk for a Bills touchdown.
Gabriel Davis,
a 3-yard touchdown run.
And the Bills are about to make it 4 straight as they add to this 4th quarter advantage. And this win now going to look a little more lopsided on the scoreboard, CD. And some may have run out the clock in that scenario, but they wanted to put their foot on the gas, get 1 more touchdown, and they did just that.
Well, Parker, I would say the traditional is not overly excited about that score. They'd like to see the game played a little bit differently. But what you can't argue with is their execution of that play, because it played out exactly as it was drawn up. It almost would have been a shame not to finish with such a well-run play.
The Browns drive about to get started.
Remember, they have won 3 straight, but getting to 4 straight does not appear to be in the cards as they are in a big 4th quarter hole.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go to each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for the Bills, It's a win that might keep them alive in the playoff races. They're back to 500 at 5-5. And now they'll get the short week as they get set to play at Detroit on Thanksgiving. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, it's a bit of a setback as they drop to 6-4 now. And they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.